Just had a super conversation with my man Harold. Harold currently got his PhD in some kind of craziness in material science. But he was a former Marine. I want y'all to take some huge nuggets of success. While he was in the Marine Corps as an enlisted man, he managed to get his college degree in the first 6 years. Got out, got his master's degree from Norfolk State, then went on and got a PhD. Now he's making a ton of money out in New Mexico working for the government, man. Hope you enjoy this video, man. A lot of nuggets of just wisdom from a former E-Dog that's now a doctor. As always, if you liked the video, hit the subscribe button. If you love it and it touches your heart, send it to all your boys and girls so that we can get the word out about this channel over here where we do nothing but build champions for life. So, all right, Harold, what you got, brother? Former enlisted Marine, now you an engineer. Talk to me about kind of the enlisted Marine nonsense. And then, hit me with how you ended up with a PhD. You got a PhD in engineering? What's your PhD in?
Material science and engineering.
Yeah, solid. So how'd you get in the Marine Corps? When did you go in the Marine Corps?
Man, so my journey to the Marine Corps, man, my uncle was in the Marine Corps. He's a retired Chief Warrant Officer 4.
Okay.
So me and him have been pretty close throughout my life. We used to go visit him in North Carolina at Camp Lejeune. Marine Corps, everything. So my parents, they were in the Army, and I used to always see the Marine Army jokes. So I get to high school, we're one of the few schools that have a Marine Corps JROTC. So I'm in there, the Marine instructor, the Marine instructor, his name is Gurney Sergeant Nass. Man, he's a cool guy. He kind of took me under his wing. I kind of saw the camaraderie when we do visits to, Marine Corps bases and stuff. So I said, shoot, man, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I joined at 17.
How did you not end up in college straight out? Like, did he not tell you about West Point or Naval Academy?
Yeah, so the Naval Academy, I did think about the Naval Academy because my goal in the beginning was to be a Marine officer. I was like, man, I'm a Marine Corps officer. Okay. That's it. For me, I don't think I had the GPA. I think I had 3.3 in high school. I had the community service hours because I was in, JRTC.
You just didn't have the right person working with you because I'd have got you in with a 3.3.
So, yeah, between the SAT, which I did not study for.
How'd you do on the SAT?
Then I got between the two, then I got like a 1020 the first time.
Solid. I got in Naval Academy with 700 SAT score. You give me a 1020, you both your parents Army, done. Yeah. Are they VA? Are they on the VA?
Right now they are, yeah.
Yeah.
When I was going in, they weren't retired yet, but now they're both. One's 100%, I think one's at 70.
Yeah.
So now, yeah.
So anyway, okay, go ahead. So what happened? So you went to Marine Corps at 17.
Yeah, so I actually went to Marine Corps a week after graduation.
What year was this?
It was 2009.
So you were getting at it. You get a couple of deployments in?
I did not get a deployment in.
Oh, damn.
So the unit I went to, I graduated from boot camp in September. They came back June of 2009. So
and then they didn't go back?
Just got back. Yeah. So from my understanding, that whole issue was that I got attached to an amphibious assault vehicle unit. Mm-hmm. Apparently those things got tore up over there. So they're like, hey, we're not taking those back.
You talking about the MRAP, the
AAVs?
Yeah, they got destroyed, bro, because they ain't had no armor.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So they just didn't take them back over there. And so I was actually at the unit in Norfolk, 4th Tracks over there in Little Creek.
Yeah. Do they got some LCAC? Not LCACs. Is it LCACs? What are the hovercraft? Do they have any hovercraft over there?
They at Little Creek, I'm pretty sure they do, because there was a couple of ops we did called Boa Alligator.
Yeah.
Essentially, we would leave off the beach over there, and then they go jump on the ships, and they would do like little mock beach raids, things like that.
Yeah. Because that happens right there at Little Creek, and then at Fort Story, they do a lot of amphibious assault stuff. So.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then you did. How long you do in the Marine Corps?
I did 6.
6 years.
Yep.
And then where'd you go for there?
So the story there. So I got my degree, my bachelor's degree, actually at Old Dominion. So you probably, if you're familiar with that area.
Yep.
So I got my bachelor's degree there.
While you were in, did you bang it out while you were in for the 6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the savage way to do it. Okay.
And so my big dichotomy here came in 2015. So I got promoted to sergeant. So in the TO, they didn't necessarily rate a sergeant with supply, which is what I did. I was 3043.
Okay.
And so they were like, hey, there's a couple units, you can go to, different units you can go to. I think the closest unit for me there was a unit, I think, in Northern Virginia, LAR company up there. I said, man, let me think about it. I mean, maybe like a week later, I get a letter from Norfolk State. So Norfolk State's a HBCU out there in Norfolk as well.
I lived there for 7 years, bro. We just left 2 days ago.
Okay, so you probably
I
you
know all
familiar with the area
Taiwan.
then.
Yeah, I know Taiwan.
So, they sent me the letter like, hey, you've been, accepted to the graduate program. We're paying for everything. And
That's all you need to hear, right? That's it.
Yeah, so I went to my mom. My mom she was in the Army. She did 24 years in the Army, I believe.
Yep.
I said, hey, Mom, what do you think? She's like, what do you mean? What do you think? You about to go to graduate school for free? She said, you got to take that.
Yep.
So I'm like, you know what? We'll go ahead and take it. Getting out, did last 2 years IR or whatever. And then my official discharge date was 2017, April 1st. So.
And you was banging out. You got your master's degree in engineering, and then you went and got, what was your undergrad in?
Chemistry.
Chemistry, solid, right? Like, so then you went and got engineering degree?
Yeah, so I did my master's in material science. Around the end of that time, my advisor at the time, he said, hey, you've been doing good here in your master's. I would like to take you on as a PhD student. I was like, man, I don't know. So I kind of had this thing where I wasn't going to go to grad school because chemistry was pretty hard to me. I had a 3.0, which isn't bad, but I still kind of had a hard time with it. And I kind of seen, some of the other grad students in graduate school, you kind of see, man, they picking up on everything quick.
But let me ask you this here, that they got that smarts, right? They got that book smarts, but they can't translate it to nothing.
That's true. That's true.
So
and so, I at first I was like, man, I don't know. I had a professor there named Dr. Richard Gregory. He was in the Marine Corps. He was an officer before he got into STEM. And he kind of told me, he said, look, you got to do it. He said, you've been through the Marine Corps. He's like, if you can do that, this is nothing.
Completely, right? Like, absolutely.
Right. So, I was like, all right, we'll do it. 2015, did my master's, working on my master's. And again, my advisor said, hey, I want to take you on as a PhD student. I said, hey, is it going to be paid for still? He said, yeah. You ain't got to tell me twice. So I went ahead and did that.
How long did that take you? 2 years or 3?
Between all three, about 3.5. Between the master's and the PhD. So I got my PhD in 2018, July 2018.
Okay.
So yeah, ever since then, I did one postdoc with the National Science Foundation, and now I'm out here in New Mexico at National Lab at another one. So
and you making good money?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I spoke to some high school students about it, one of the things, they like to ask, how much you're making, and between me, other people I graduated with, 120 that's nothing.
That's the floor. That's the basement is 120.
Yeah. Intel offered me 121, and my dissertation wasn't even completed yet.
Yeah.
So, if you're talking about money, the money's there. That's not a problem.
I just, I wanted to get you on here so people could kind of hear your journey because, I think one of the key things that you said in this whole conversation is the fact that you stayed motivated even though you was E1. You started banging out that degree. So when you got done with that 6 year time, it wasn't like you wasted 6 years, right? Exactly. If you really think about it, like you graduated from college in 6 years. That would be the same as somebody else going to college, taking 5 years. You got your super benefit out of it. You didn't have to pay for all the college because I'm sure the Marine Corps paid for some of it with the TAB, all the other programs they have out there. And then, then you got out, you took the best of it, you went to Norfolk State, got your master's degree, turned that into a PhD, and now you coasting.
Yeah. I like to tell people, for those that kind of on that fence, you can leverage the military for things well past, when you get out. For me, I had a secret security clearance, which actually helped the process when I got out here where I needed top secret. I got cleared out here within about 2-3 months. Mm-hmm. Typically, you're talking that's a year process, but I had that on my my background. When people see Marine Corps on my resume, I mean, there's a standard that's already set. People know about Marines. They know, the standards of discipline that we have set. So it definitely has helped me get a lot of places for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let me ask you this: would you go Marine Corps again, or would you have chose a different service?
Mm. If I would have known I was gonna stay in STEM, I would have did Air Force.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because I gave a talk at the Air Force Institute of Technology
Okay.
in Ohio.
All right.
And so, the officer that hosted me, Lieutenant Colonel, he's like, hey, we got students coming in. So I'm thinking, okay, you're talking grad students. You got all second lieutenants are coming in uniform.
Let's go.
I gave the talk, but then afterwards I was talking to him. I was like, how did you get here? He was like, oh yeah, I commissioned, and essentially I'm coming here for grad school, but I'm in the Air Force.
Yep.
Hold on, what? Yeah, so I'm listening. I'm listening to this. I'm like, so you telling me the Air Force has a school where you can get a PhD? He's like, yeah. All the commanding officers and all the professors that were, uniformed Air Force officers, they all PhD.
Okay, so the Air Force has a bunch of programs that allow you to leverage your education, get a PhD. All
Yeah,
the services have it. They got the War College. Um, Navy has the labs down in Pax River. There's a whole, but a lot of people don't know that, right? Like,
exactly.
if you're trying to dig out the education, the other thing is a lot of people don't know this. Most people don't pay for their PhD. So like
Oh yeah, that's true.
PhDs are free most places because they do most of the teaching in institutions. So, all right, so super solid, dog. What else? What else you want these folks to know? I got about 10,000 criminals on my damn channel, all trying to be
Yeah,
Navy SEALs and Green Berets and regular old people going to Naval Academy and just
yeah,
trying to be great. Ain't very often you get to talk to a doctor in material science. And
yeah.
I wanted to give you this time because I think it's important that people see who you are, how kind of your journey, so that they understand when I tell them you got to maximize that enlisted time, they got to do it.
Yeah, I think one of the things you see with enlisted, especially enlisted Marines, is that they're in and then that's it. They're just, hey, I'm here to do my time, then I'm out. Versus trying to leverage anything that you can get that helps you when you do get out,
Yep.
so you're not stuck. So the enlisted life, yeah, it's sometimes Jay, you just like, what, I can't do this.
It's hard,
You
bro.
know?
I tell
And
people, man, like
it's not hard from the sense of is it physically demanding. It's
no,
not that type of hard. It's more
yep.
of a sense. It's a lot of nonsense that you do.
Like Harold, you a smart dude. You got a PhD in material science. You didn't go to college and get smarter. You didn't get your master's degree and all of a sudden become a smart person. You were smart when you enlisted in the Marine Corps. And so now
Yeah,
you're dealing with dudes that are E5s that ain't very smart. I mean, I got some stories about the Army, man, the Navy. I'll just be like, man, come on, dude. You
yeah,
what? We doing what? Nah, partner, we can't. Nah, let's not look at it that way. But when you
yeah,
in E1, E2, E3, E4, you ain't got no chance to say nothing.
yeah. That's true.
Staff sergeant telling you, hey, we're gonna clean these rocks out here with your toothbrush. You're like, Staff sergeant, it's gonna rain this evening. We're gonna clean these rocks with our toothbrush. And you're gonna go out there, you're gonna rake rocks, and then it's gonna rain, all the rocks gonna get clean. Y'all gonna be standing there in the rain still, cleaning. Bro, I know.
Yeah,
I tried to make sure when I was as an officer, man, we didn't have to do no BS. But in
yeah,
the military, sometimes you got to do some BS. And I tell my guys all the time, man, listen, this is straight BS. We're going to do it. I'm going to do it with you. And then we'll get it done and keep it moving. You know?
yeah. I think that's the thing is, when I initially saw a lot of your content, especially a lot of the leadership stuff, that's the stuff I really gravitated towards because, during my time, man, I had some great leaders and I had some off ones. And just like you said, you're talking about when you go do something and when you see someone higher up doing it with you, it's different. I can give you a good example. We out there in Little Creek, right? So we had this staff sergeant, he was leading PT. First time I was like, hey, staff sergeant, you can lead PT. So he was doing like these CrossFit, like workout of the day type stuff.
Okay.
So what he was doing was he brought a whiteboard out and he would put these ridiculous workouts up.
Yep.
And we're dying.
Yep.
So we like, man, how come he ain't never doing it with us? So
Wait. Hold up. You mean he just writing it on the board?
Right. So he was right on the board. Like I was a supply guy. So I'll get there a little bit earlier. I'll get the warehouse open. Like, hey, we got all the equipment. I get the equipment out. He right on the board. We just like, man, this ain't kind of hard, man. So then first I was like, this dude, we out there running labs, doing CrossFit stuff, box jumps, medicine ball, whatever. So he's an ace. That's why, you need to go PT with him. Next thing you know, these workouts start getting easy and easy. We like, hold on, man. Hold on. Okay. I see what's going on here.
But see, you know what's interesting, man? Like in my community in the SEAL teams, dog, that wouldn't have flew one day. Somebody would have wrote a workup on a board and then disappeared. Bro, Cass would have ripped the board up. He would have came out the next day. The board would have been in pieces.
Yeah,
but you talking about regular Marine Corps, man? That happens all the time, right?
Yeah,
Staff sergeant,
you get that a lot.
Or sergeant major gun, he tell you, hey man, we're gonna go on a road march, and then you look up and staff sergeant leading the road march.
Yeah, he in the safety vehicle. You like, hold on, man. What we doing, man?
Yeah, but those are the bad ones, right? Those are the dudes, that don't get leadership, man. They don't understand. 12 JMLNV7. Thank you for this wonderful comment, man. He can't follow simple directions. Us viewers know more about what's expected, and we are old and out of shape. And we have no desires of being a SEAL. People like this guy are the reason planes and shuttles fall out of the sky. It's always something small and simple, like an O-ring grommet that gets skipped over because an engineer or mechanic cuts corners. I'd argue that this guy has no business flying, designing, or working on anything related to air travel if he can't follow directions in bold red. Hey man, just want to take a minute and make sure that we all don't gang up on my guy over at Arizona State. Hey, here's the truth of the matter is most of the kids these days can't listen, they can't follow directions. All they want to do is to be able to Google the answer and get it immediately. Hey man, 12 JML NV7. Thank you for the awesome comment, brother.